this is Rich Kids of Instagram, which is based on the exceptionally strange, somewhat nauseating and fascinating Instagram page with the richest kids in America post pictures of themselves behaving badly. With their yachts, you know, with their drugs and their houses, and a lot of famous heirs have been on there, and it became kind of notorious. So of course a publishing person goes, hey, I got an idea, let's make that into a movie, but first a book series. And came to me and wanted me to do Gossip Girls, something Gossip Girls-esque. It's not quite what they got. No offense to Gossip Girls, because I love it. The creator of the site is anonymous, but I did have a partner in crime, which is my husband, Thomas Warming, right here. They got a twofer, and he got a co-creator credit, and his illustrations are throughout the book, which we pitched it with illustrations. So it's 7 alternating first-person points of view. And what else did I want to say about it? It's a little edgy, I think, and you're dealing with the 1%. So I'll just read for you. Oh, I did want to say that the section I'm reading was picked for me, as I asked for it, by John King, who's in the back, right? And who does, if nobody's heard it, The Drunken Odyssey. You can get it on iTunes, and I'm absolutely freaking obsessed with it. I've never heard him break down these walls between these just notoriously hard-to-reach writers before. But I think what's ironic is the one section he picked is the one section Simon & Schuster didn't want in the book. And the one that we actually fought for. We fought for this, added a tiny bit, but fought for it. So that makes me feel like I'm smart, because John's smart, so I'm going to go with that. And that is the one I'm reading. And it's Desdemona Goldberg. She is a Broadway heiress. I'm going to see Miller. That's the very first thing I think. I smile, pull up to the duvet and clutch it under my chin. I smile to myself for just a moment, then I reach for the phone on the nightstand. He didn't call. He didn't text. I feel my heart dropping, my throat constricting. Panic attacked, one therapist said, then offered up all these ideas to make it stop. Yoga, meditation. For me, there's only one thing that really works. I call it crunching numbers. When I told my therapist about it, she called it obsessive compulsive behavior. I called her a dumb head shrinker bitch and never saw her again. True, it's weird, but it calms me. And with the sudden pounding at my temples, I know today it's the only thing that'll help. I push the duvet off me, crushed velvet and king size, $2,252, $830 for the matching set of sheets. I yawn, and then I swing my legs over the side, antique French 4-poster, $154,000. Get on my feet. Maroon Angora carpeting at 450 square feet, $5,976. Then off to the bathroom to brush my teeth. Sonicare, FlexCare, and dual handle, $615. Tube of Crest, $875. By the time I've turned on the faucet, Kohler 2-handle, $874, I feel my heart rate slowing. I've calmed down a bit, but the question remains, is Miller using me? He's only called twice since that night in the bathroom and returned a mere 1 of my 8 texts, and now he wants to meet up, yet he didn't call or text last night. Is this about my career or just doing me over the toilet again? Not that I didn't enjoy it. I mean, the sex was delish. First and foremost, I'm an artist. A hottie with a sick bod comes second. I won't be anyone's potty room slut. Suddenly furious, I storm down the hall. Maroon Angora carpeting, 726 square feet, $8,987. Magdalena, I shriek, I need you. Where could she be? I stomp to the kitchen. Italian porcelain tile, $10,000, but I'll have to check. And that's when I see the note. Picking up a few things. Painful scrawl like a kid would do. And a little smiley face. Too sweet. My heart could just burst in my chest. Oh, Magdalena, I think, running my hand over the words. It probably took hours. She's such a dear, sweet little nanny with her precious knitting needles and pants bought at the Spanish women's store. Magdalena, that precious gem. Has it really been 11 years? I mean, she was already ancient when she got here. But I don't care. I wouldn't trade her for every Swedish nanny on Central Park West. They would have left anyway. They always do. End up married to a golf pro or like Ethan Hawke. Magdalena is mine for life. FYI, the word nanny is totally mega degrading. I mean, she's a maid too. Not to mention a stand-in mom, even like a therapist. So what if her English sucks? She's like a shrink in the movies who doesn't say a word, just lets you stretch out on the couch and talk yourself silly. And even better, she could listen for hours. And at this moment, we have loads to discuss Ree Miller. So where is she? P.S. I totes forgot, private chef. Mommy makes a mean guacamole. Before Magdalena, I'd been lost in a sea of flimsy nap-time cots, buried alive under building blocks. I was Eloise, but instead of the plaza, I'd been taken hostage by a pre-K timeout Nazi. Miss Muson had orthopedic shoes and hair coming out of her nose. On top of insulting my aesthetic sensibilities, she was a mega bitch. I was headed for big things, but those creativity assassinating ass-tards at the Montague Preparatory Academy for Educational Excellence, what did they know about artistic gifts? I mean, the plaid jumpers alone, my little eye sockets ached. To them, square blocks only fit in square holes. Let's. Stop shoving that piece, Desi, said Miss Muson during cognitive play. The block is square, do you understand? The hole is round. Got it, I said, and shoved harder. Desi, I mean it. Count this as a pre-warning. I said. I could take direction. It's the one giving it that was a totes imbecile. It won't fit, don't you understand? Stop that shoving. Your aggression is scaring the others. It won't fit. Because you won't let it, I shrieked, cutting her off. That was right before I threw it, in her stupid little face. Pre-warning got an upscale. I was always wrong. Every action I made, every question I answered, even when I was right, even when the answer was obvious. What will you be when you grow up, Miss Muson asked later that day during contemplation hour. I piped right up. An it girl. That's not a job, Desi. That's a concept. She sighed. Besides, I didn't see the sharing hand. It girls don't do sharing hands. This is another pre-warning, Desi. Your pre-warning can suck my ass, I said. And when in the hell is nutritional enrichment time? I'm fucking famished. Find an environment more fitted to her unique needs, quoted Dad. Your needs, Des. Those were his words. I was in his office, and he was pissed. The school meeting had tanked even worse than his post-apocalyptic Oklahoma revival. He was angry at me, of course. Never. He wasn't angry at me, of course. Never. And I said, put it to me straight. Fuck the rigmarole. I got a meeting. So he goes, one more warning, and she's out. And I go, what constitutes a warning? This I gotta hear. Dad kept talking. That was his thing, never shutting up. I'd seen him do it at Sardi's for a table of clients. Close the place and then keep going in the limo ride after. Grandpa was the same way, I guess. Before running the show, he'd been Joke-a-Second Goldberg, vaudeville's top second banana. As for me, I'd heard enough. Come on, Des, said Dad, don't cry. Sure, Montague Prep was Yucksville, but what I hated even more was rejection. I can't help it, I sobbed. I despise it there. They said I was bad. Who gives a rat ass what they say? So you bit someone, big whoop. She stole my Legos when I went pee-pee. They were mine and she took them. I know the type, said Dad. She was a bitch. They usually are. He sighed and leaned back. Over his head, the Tonys and drama desks sparkled in their built-in shelf. I told you I didn't want to go. You don't need that crapola, he said. And I sure as hell don't. What with this show? And you bet your bottom dollar I said that to the headmaster. I mean, I got time for this hoopla? 40 grand I'm paying those ninnies. Get off your ass and educate. That's what I pay you for. And forget about those opening night tickets for your silent auction. So here's the thing. Forget that place. I stopped, looked up. I knew that voice. The no more fucking around one. Just the week before, I'd heard it on the conference with Julie Taymor. A puppet does not a plot and make, he'd said. Mega for reals. Put the animals in little clothes or something. It's called theatricality, honey. You don't like it? Go back to the experimental shit. I'll even get you the venue. Know a great alley in the East Village. We'll get you a tutor or something, he told me. All producer mode. Or better yet, another nanny. Fuck that shortage bullshit. I'm not buying. We'll get a nanny-tutor combo, textbooks, the whole hazarai. How does that sound? I looked up smiling. That's what I want to see, he said. Know what I'd be doing if I followed the rules, honey bunch? Hawking schmatas in the garment district for $4.50 an hour. What does some teacher know anyway? She put on 6 hits on Broadway and forget that school BS. I never got a degree, and look where that got me. He'd opened his arms wide and I could see his point. 11-room co-ops didn't come easily, especially ones with Park Avenue views and wraparound balconies. Forget them, Des. You come from Goldberg stock. And what are Goldbergs? Legends. You got it. He smiled big. No matter what I did, My reviews would always be raves. You got the spark, baby, just like your mom. Lit up a room, that crazy bird. Thank God you got your mind from me, huh? I didn't care what he called her, didn't even remember her face. Did herself in when I was 2 with a bad review sleeping pill mixer. At least it hadn't been in vain. She'd gotten a Tony years earlier. Never met Grandpa, but you could still see the Goldberg's review sign on 47th Street, right between a tchotchke store and a Starbucks. Burlesque, my dad said, is women taking off their clothes, only classy. I tried it myself. That had been warning number 3. No imagination, those people. Usually show and tell was such a yawn fest, and the pasties had been totes adorable. I made them myself with Christmas tinsel. You, Desdemona Goldberg, are the whole package, said Dad. Overture, intermission, and curtain call included. And anyone who says different, forget 'em. Always good with the closing line, my father. A big finish. In the end, we got a great nanny. To Magdalena, I was a perfecto 10. In fact, there was a shrine of me right next to Our Lady of Guadalupe one. And homeschooling was da bomb. Forget teachers. I learned more from the Powerpuff Girls than they'd ever teach me. It was a fab few years, but ultimately, page 6 ended my homeschool staycation. Which bombshell Broadway heiress celebrated her graduation from rehab by giving a drunken lap dance to a notorious boy bander at a private New York club? Guess he left that famous purity ring at home. And if that wasn't enough, the wannabe actress, model, singer, sex kitten was seen downing shots with Beeb, loudly discussing her father's soon-to-be premiere in the White Way revival and making several trips to the unisex bathroom to freshen up. If that striptease on the bar was any indication, she was refreshed all right. Too bad she forgot to pay that $10,000 bar bill before the bouncer kicked her out. Well, Dad said when he finished, throwing the paper down on his desk, what do you have to say? It was even better this time, and I'd heard it like 47. They called me a bombshell! I'm gonna stop there. Thank you.